rock and roll, gamers!
Here we go!
Kirby's Aneurysm. Man, I love this game so much. Wait! I just started, and you've already committed the greatest sin, you hag. It's Kirby Air Ride. Not Kirby's Air Ride. He doesn't own it. It's not his. Not after he lost the lawsuit. It wasn't really until these past few years that I really saw people starting to talk about how fun this game was online, and I should know. I was one of them. The game started amassing a huge cult following online, and when I started going through my initial wave of Gamecube nostalgia a few years back, I dropped 40 bucks on eBay for a copy and joined in. It's really shocking to me that this game hasn't reached a larger audience because it has the same fast-paced, chaotic, fun energy that something like Mario Kart has. Actually, no, I'd go as far as to say that it might even surpass Mario Kart in its chaotic fun energy. Crazy, right? We'll take my hot takes in spades, bitchachas. I've got plenty. I don't see Mario Kart being this chaotic. Kirby's always been very flexible when it comes to the games they can be put in. They're like HAL's little wad of clay that they throw against a wall and they base whatever game they make next in the funky looking shape that it left on the floor. Pinball, tilt controls, 3D, 2D, fighting games, battle royales. But what surprises me the most is that they only ever attempted a racing game one time before. So what are we talking about today? Now this is high-class gaming, my gamers. These menus, they're so clean, I can practically smell their freshness and... wait a second. That smells like... So fun fact, this game was not only directed by our beloved, but it was actually the last Kirby game that Masahiro Sakurai would work on in his lead big man chair. Which is to say, it was the last Kirby game that he directed.
If I had a nickel for every time a creator of a beloved gaming icon would part ways with a child after a racing spin-off of the Gamecube, I'd have 2 whole nickels, which, that's not a lot, but it's enough to buy me 7% of a Costco hot dog, so that's pretty sweet.
So we've got ourselves 3 main game modes and the option for LAN play here, although I can't even get people to play Pikmin with me in a LAN setting, which means that we really only have 3 options to choose from here. The settings don't exist, we don't talk about them, don't acknowledge them, don't look them in the eye. If you do that, then they'll ask for food and they won't leave. Let's start ourselves off in a classic race to get ourselves familiar with the basics. The way that you actually control your rides here might take a little bit to get used to at first, especially if you're going into this with the expectation that this will just be Mario Kart, but with Kirby. Sakurai had something special cooking up here. He's not just gonna toss in the Mario copy abilities and call it a day. He's a fucking chef. Everything feels super nice to play with here. Even when I'm losing and getting my non-existent bubblegum ass handed to me, I'm having a really fun time. The controls are super tight and snappy, making turns and gaining boost of speed feels really satisfying, so even when you're losing, it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't hurt either, that all we've got to do is suck up an enemy on the track, and we get to play around with one of Kirby's staple copy abilities while racing. Things can get to a pretty quick pace too, and if you're not careful or familiar with the track, you might not be ready for what's coming up ahead.
Get out the fucking road! What are you doing? You trying to get hit or something, you dumbass?
The game knows that it needs to be fun at its core, regardless of what the player's skill level may be, and it passes that with flying colors. Hell, that very reason is probably why the control scheme is so simple. One button, that big screaming dill pickle chip in the middle of your GameCube controller, combined with the left thumbstick, is all you need to play this game. No other buttons required, simple as that. You wanna drift around a corner? A. You wanna hit a boost pad? A. Wanna suck up an enemy? Hit A. Wanna play a better racing game? Cry about it, there isn't one! The different rides you use in these races are super interesting too. You'd expect each one to just have some minor variations in their stats and play styles, with one stat having a slightly heavier focus than the other. Well, no! Shut up! These are all or nothing, baby! You've got your basic all-rounder, but practically every other ride aside from that is the most gimmicky thing I've ever seen, and it's fantastic. Lower speed and weight, but a great glide glider. Its speed and charge is god-awful, but when you let her rip, she goes flying. Great on straightaways, but stops dead in its tracks. Or literally just a real-life car. And a shitty one at that.
She's a bit banged up around the edges, but she runs.
And it's not even like the weird gimmicky nature for a lot of these rides automatically makes them obsolete, because the maps you play on here might actually end up favoring them if you can handle riding them well enough. This thing is slippery as shit. There's no world in where I should actually find this thing useful. Oh look, it just won me the race. Where's my trophy?
I'd like to thank the Academy and the chef for the great food.
These tracks all feel so distinct from each other, and that's what I like about them. They all have their own strategies and rides that best suit each of them. And much like the rides, they all have their own unique shticks to them as well. Like, the last secret course that you unlock is just one giant gimmick course made up of huge straightaways and item panels that give Kirby a random copy ability, which, yes, even includes sleep.
Get the fuck out of my way, Blue Kirby!
Getting to drift around corners is probably one of the most satisfying things for me to do here control-wise, especially since you have to utilize drifting differently here than you would in something like Mario Kart. Makes Machine Passage one of my favorite maps from all of the turns you need to do here, and that little bit with the can definitely helps things too. Drifting almost always stops most, if not all of your momentum, so you have to use them only when you really need to around tighter corners, or else you might run the risk of falling behind the other racers. Another example of how the game starts off pretty simple for beginners, but once you get into the nitty-gritty of it, there's really a lot you can do here. Air Ride really feels like a game created by Sakurai in that sense. It really makes me wonder what this game could look like in a more competitive setting. I better see the shit lined up next to Melee next time I go to a LAN, that's all I'm saying. Aside from the main racing mode, we've also got Top Ride, which has always just felt like an option that's there and nothing else really. It's a fun time, don't get me wrong. It reminds me a lot of those slot car toys, and things can get pretty damn chaotic here. I can imagine it being a ton of fun if you played it with friends. Unfortunately,
so long.
Not all of us have that luxury. It's a fun little addition here, but it's never something I'm gonna sink a whole lot of time into, no. That's where this mode comes into play. City Trial is really where this game shines brightest. It's easily the most addicting and replayable thing in this whole package. For the 5 of you that actually played Smash Bros. For 3DS and not the Wii U version, you may recall a little mode from that game called Smash Run. You run around this map, beating up enemies, finding secrets, and collecting abilities to power yourself up, all leading up to some sort of mystery challenge that you have to compete in at the end. It was basically the best thing from that version of the game, let's be honest.
Well, guess what, gamers? This was a mere imitation of what true glory looked like.
Air Ride is where that whole idea originally stemmed from, and the premise is pretty much the same here. You jettison yourself around this city, hence the name, and collect power-ups all in preparation for whatever hell the Kirby gods have in store for you when that timer runs out. No one match ever feels the same here. There are a bunch of different areas for you to explore and little secrets to find hidden around the map. It doesn't too often feel like you're in store for the same kind of experience when you hop into a match. Load up the mode, pick a part of the map to explore, and see what you might end up finding. Alright, we've got a red box over here right off the bat. Let's just head on over, break it open, and see what we can find. And oh, don't think I don't see you over there trying to snag a new ride, Blue Kirby. Sorry, pal, but if you want that, you're gonna have to fight for it. Get back over here, Blue Kirby. Don't run, you can't escape God. Oh, don't think you're slick enough to get away from me. Get back here. I just need some more power for my ride. I don't care if this seems excessive. I need to prepare for when that timer goes down, and there's simply a fresh source of the vitamins and minerals I need. You know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. I need to search around the rest of the map anyways. Let's go look for some other stuff. And hey, it worked out pretty well. A new ride. Don't mind if I do.
Oh, he flies.
Fate comes a-grabbing, Blue Kirby. Why do you run? Why do you try and escape from something so definite like the boost of my engine? There are no buildings you can hide behind, and no ride fast enough to save you from the wrath I can unleash.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, so might have slipped my mind to mention the events.
You'll be in the middle of a normal romp in the city when all of a sudden, your iPhone alarm goes off. These different events can occur at random and range from hunting down tack to get some abilities from them, busting down a massive pillar, the goddamn apocalypse, a thick fog and melting holes, or even having Dynablade appear in the middle of the city. The mysterious bird Dynablade has appeared. Aim for its head. You got it. These random events really do help to spice up your time riding around the city. It helps to keep the mode as replayable as it is, as you're always going to end up wondering what kind of chaos is going to befall this once peaceful city this time around. A random huge boost of speed, a hidden chamber in one area of the map opening up, or maybe it's not even exactly related to the event itself, and you find a mysterious ride piece lying inside one of these red boxes. Well, if you're lucky enough to find 3 matching pieces all before the time hits 0, you'll be able to fly yourself one of the godly air rides. The Hydra or the Dragoon, aka that one item that most people will just recognize from Super Smash Bros. They really don't have any faults to them aside from being a little bit hard to control at times, but if you can manage to get one of these, there is absolutely nothing that stands in your way. Except for King Dedede! I don't know if you could tell, but I don't like this boss. I don't like him. I don't want him to be here. I want him to fall off of the cliff, and I don't want him to, like, puff up his chest and start floating away. I want him to pop like a balloon, blow around like he's being fucking deflated, like a sad fucking wet ball sack of a balloon just going, just flying everywhere until he lands on the ground, on the cold pavement, where he'll be run over by every goer, by everyone driving on the highway. To balance them out though, successfully putting one of these rides together and getting to use it will take some serious luck. As I mentioned before, you need to break open these red boxes that appear throughout the map and hope that you can find one of the 3 pieces inside, because getting one is complete luck of the draw. I've noticed them like appear in certain spots over the others, but the majority of the time, it's really up in the air whether you're gonna get one or not. As difficult as it is, there's no feeling more satisfying in this game than successfully completing one of these, because you know damn well that any racer in your path won't stand a fucking chance. Even him. You know, we always ask where is Blue Kirby, but never how is Blue Kirby, or even who is Blue Kirby.
Vem, my friends call me Balsamic, vem.
Wait, Sal, you were playing as Blue Kirby this whole time?
I will never forgive you!
Oh, come on, Sal, don't get your... face all twisted up in a bunch. I'm just out here to have fun and win, and you just so happen to be
Our biggest loser.
There's always gonna be another round where you could take your shot at winning, and knowing you, if you just turn that round upside down, then you'll be tonight's biggest winner soon enough. And you know what? To show you how much I care, I think it's about time we give Blue Kirby a real name. We have Kirby, we've got Kibi, we've got Vomit, and now we'll have...
Rangers McBasketball.
Yeah, sure. And with the time fully ticked down, that can mean only one thing. It's time to compete. Oh boy, I wonder what we could get here. A drag race? Oh, maybe we'll have to shoot for the longest distance? Could just be a standard race too. Ooh, maybe we'll get to take another crack at fighting King Dedede. You know, something everyone looks forward to. Oh, okay, looks like we've got to go for the largest height out of the other racers. Well, let's give it our best shot. Mangis! That blue bastard! I've been sabotaged! They think they can just cheat to win? I could beat them in my sleep if I wanted to! What the f***? I was choking! What the hell? Wait, like, actually, how the f*** did that happen?
Well, that was Kirby Air Ride. What? You got something? You got something you want to fucking say? Is there's something funny going on here? You want to tell me something, huh?
At its core, at its soft, squishy, pink core, Kirby Air Ride is just a fun game. The racing feels super tight and satisfying, there's plenty of rides, tracks, and modes to mess around with, and it's super underrated considering it's such a well-designed racing game. This is on par, if not above Double Dash for me in terms of how much fun I have playing it. I know not everyone's gonna share that sentiment, maybe it's my bias for the pink puff, but yes, let's fucking go! Oh my god! Man, it's just a fucking fun game. Fucking call up some buddies, play this game local if you can, or you know what, I'm sure if you looked it up on the internet, you might be able to find a way to play this game online. But if anyone asks, I didn't tell you nothing. I don't want anyone coming to my house and coming and getting my shit. I got Kirby to play. I got things to say. I got people to see. I'm a fucking gamer. Even after recording everything for this video, I've still had fun going back every once in a while just to kill some time in a normal race or mess around in City Trial for a little bit. There's even a part of me that kind of wants to fill up this achievement checklist as much as I can, just because it's satisfying seeing it slowly fill up over time as you complete different challenges. It would take a hell of a long time to do it, but I don't know, might be fun. I like Stockholm Syndrome. Hey, look, I finally got Meta Knight! I can fly around the city with the guy! But not King Dedede. I'm never unlocking him. This man is unkillable. I hate him. It's like I said back at the beginning of all of this. The game's really started building up a cult following these past couple of years, which makes me so happy to see, because this game deserves so much more recognition than it's gotten, especially back when it came out. This was the only Kirby game on the Gamecube, and while there's a part of me that will always want to get my hands on some sort of early build for these scrapped Kirby Gamecube games to get a taste of what they originally planned for the Pink Puff on this console, I'm more than happy with what we ended up getting here. The Gamecube felt like this very weird and experimental, but super cool era of Nintendo where it really felt like any out there or niche idea had the potential of becoming a game. And even though it was the only outing from Kirby on this console, I think that Kirby's Air Ride fits perfectly right alongside the rest of its library. I meant Kirby Air Ride! And with that, it's time to hit the road, little buddy. Let's go! It's just Corbin and me. On a wolf show, looking so free and happy. Look at us go, get out of my way, bro. Cram to see all below me. Oh shit, is that a wall?
My friends call me Sal, but you can call me the Unknown.